IRDNC is a Namibian conservation NGO that is working in the most remotest part of Namibia in communal lands. And the focus really is to work hand in hand, side by side with the local communities, because we believe the development is vested in the conservation of natural resources in those areas.
IRDNC, you may have heard, has been involved in community conservation in Namibia in both Kunene and Zambezi regions from the late 80s to the early 90s. So what happened is the government allowed the conservancy legislation in Namibia, which says that if you as a community can prove that you look after the wildlife, you have the right to benefit from it. And then they get gazetted as a conservancy. And then they manage their own natural resources, and as the numbers build up and they can show government success, the government will give them quotas for access to wildlife. Further down the line, as the wildlife numbers increase, obviously it becomes more attractive from a tourism point of view or from a hunting point of view, and then they would engage with private sector partners to come in, bring investment, develop the opportunities, employ their people and derive benefit from it. And we believe that is the essence of why it's so successful, is the fact that communities take full ownership, get the benefits if they are successful.
Ame ube imu nokujana hebero, ikiwero kuti bandu behali sahaisa ze, bekiwero ibuka, kukiwera na wika na omulubele, ndale mundu haponeko, idio vinajibuno ino mongando wanyandano ibuka.
Thanks to conservancies, we now have doubled our land under conservation protection. And it is our people, ordinary rural people, who are managing and protecting that wildlife.
Ami wame mukivero ipuka mo conservancy yana pepa. O kukivero ipuka tukivero vipuka vitu kukia vinyinga pale mulukondwa. No kuyanjo hambora kana kukia o maivero munyundu yewe pehi mulukondwa. O kinaki wiwana biene no kumuna ko kukivero vipukangwi tuene no kuhongodo nditiona.
Namibia has the second largest population of black rhino surviving in the world. It's also one of the few, maybe only place where rhinos are actually living among communities. And I think it's a truly remarkable story that it was communities that have been able to stop that poaching once again, as they did at the beginning of the program in the 80s.
We have not had a poaching incident there of rhino in the last 2 years, and we've in fact had 11 instances where community information led to poachers being apprehended as they were going to poach. And there are not many countries that can talk about that type of community involvement, sense of pride and stewardship over their rhino population.
So we've got to find ways of integrating lifestyles, culture, and also other livelihood components. We have a couple of programs like that where in Zambezi we've introduced a pilot project, livestock wildlife integration, where we align the grazing regimes to make sure that the grazing resources are reserved for the same seasons as wildlife would come and use them. So we have them moving consistently with each other. We make sure that they are protected from predation, because obviously the predators move with us wildlife.
So you can see this core, existence coming up automatically is a natural phenomenon that is not influenced by mankind.
The conservancies that operate there are critical linchpins in the transboundary corridors for wildlife to move from Botswana through Namibia to Angola and Zambia. The Conservancy's primary support organization is the Integrated Rural Development and Nature Conservation. And this institution is the long-term hope for ensuring that these conservancies are viable, not just for this generation of people, but for many generations down the road.
So currently we have, in the Namibian CBNRM program, we have 84 conservancies that are established. Most of them are viable, self-sufficient conservancies. They derive income, $500 million a year. that is earned directly by conservancies. A lot of them are investing in projects that benefit the bigger society, like clinics and schools, electrification programs, and sometimes also enterprises that community members can participate in.
What IRDNC has had to do, it's had to reinvent itself several times and keep going back to the core while it changes, core being community empowerment. The whole program is not about governments and NGOs, it's actually about ordinary people in the rural areas managing their wildlife in a sustainable way and benefiting economically, socially, spiritually, culturally, all these different ways that wildlife brings benefits to people. So we have to constantly remind ourselves that that's at the heart of what IRDNC is about and what community conservation is all about.